Okay, we have a lot of work to catch up on with tons of people coming in here already doing the rough-ins and the outside work underway. Let's go check it out. We left off last time having the membrane first installed in the walls, but now look, the comfort board, which is the outsulation of the wall assembly, has now been placed over top of the Sega membrane. What this does, it creates another value of insulation in addition to the insulation that will be within the wall cavities. Now have a look down this wall. We talked about before how to reduce the number of penetrations along the sides of the wall to make it look nice and consistent, so you don't see things punching out all over the place. All you see is siding and windows. Now take, for example, the electrical box. Normally it'd be located inside the sheathing areas or the plywood areas, but in this case, it's down by the concrete. Now how does the wire get there? It gets cored through the concrete, the electrical box mounted on the wall, and the wires fish through accordingly. But what do you do when you come across larger penetrations, such as a dryer duct or an intake? For example, right here. This is an example of a conduit being cored through the wall instead of going through the plywood. This way, we can easily waterproof and make this airtight. This is an example of the dryer duct coming through to be placed in. And this can easily be placed out of sight along the bottoms of the walls. It can be further protected with a shroud, and you don't see it, you don't have to work around it. It's placed all in line, very consistent with everything else that penetrates the outside of the house. Another example of the penetrations we're preparing for: hose been cored, the conduit's been installed, outside box mounted. This is going to be a future dryer vent. Let's have a look at the other side where we can find some of the penetrations already in place. Okay, so check this out. This is 3 examples of penetrations that have exited the wall through the concrete. They've been installed in place mechanically. They've been caulked around the flanges. They will be further protected by shrouds, which are made by aluminum. It keeps everything consistent at a certain level. Now again, this leaves a nice clean wall, free of any kind of projections coming out and nothing to work around. Okay, something else I want to show you as well is oftentimes you have windows within the concrete wall area. And the trickiest part of this is how to finish around the windows. For example, this one, it's inset. Having a window inset leaves you all this unfinished areas. In this case, we got a nice flashing work, nice metal work bent around and nicely framed around the window, giving us a slope here and a nice return to properly giving a nice finished look. Another example of how the penetration can come out at the concrete level: hose bib, electrical, and gas. All nicely lined up. You can predict where they are, you can plan out where you want them to be, and you can finish nicely in the concrete areas. If you can see this wall here, the concrete ends above eye level. Not convenient to put anything in the wood walls. Again, coring through the walls, you can plan out exactly where you want them. You can properly waterproof and airtight these areas without having to reach up here for your hose bibs or your electrical plugs.